In this video, I'd like to show you how to use Desmos to come up with the same calculations that the graphing calculator does. And so we have this list of data 4, 6, 9, 11, 4, 5, and we found those by using by doing it by hand. And then we can do it using the graphing calculator. We can also do it using Desmos. And there's it's nice when it's already in like a spreadsheet format, or if you type in long lists of numbers, if there's a lot of numbers. So I have shared a sheet that has data for you to quickly you're going to copy the data. So I'm just going to copy that. I go to Desmos, and the first thing I need to do is name my list. And you can name it with either capital or lowercase letters. I sometimes like to use capital letters for lists, and I usually just call it L and M maybe. And then I'm just going to do L equals, and then I paste that data. You'll notice that it puts it in brackets and it separates it by parentheses, which is the correct way to enter a list if you're going to do that. Now, in your functions area, you can do that. So when you pull up the information, and so you have a functions. So this is where we had squareds and numbers and whatnot, but over you have a functions, and if you scroll down, you have the statistics grouping. And so we're going to get some of the information from statistics, and then there's another set a little bit further down that we'll use as well in our next lesson. And we type in the word mean, or you can click the word mean. And now it's asking for, well, what list do you want me to find the mean for? And I just type L, and it'll give us our mean of that data set. We do the same thing for median. We can either, again, type the word, or you can just find it in the function. So there's the median, and then we need the, again, mode cannot be found, just as it wasn't in the other one. But we can do the maximum of our list. We know what the maximum number is. We know what the minimum number. So the 5-number summary information that the graphing calculator gives, we can do it this way. And granted, it might be a little more tedious simply because we are using, it has to go into each one separately. When we get to quartile, so the graphing calculator will give you, as you saw here, it gives you the Q1 and Q3 automatically when it gives you the 5-number summary. So we're going to have to do it a little bit differently, but once it's so we're going to do quartile, and then it's the list that we want and which quartile number we want. So that's quartile number 1. We go again do the same thing for quartile number 3. So the list, and then the third quartile, and then for standard deviation, so standard deviation would be the sample standard deviation, which is the one my math lab wants, and then the population standard deviation is the other one that we want, and that's the STDEV with a P after it. That's the population one. That's what we'll use with the normal curve. Again, notice the 2 standard deviations are very close together. Once you have this typed in, actually you could change your list and these numbers will automatically change. So that is kind of one of the advantages of Desmos, is now if I used a different set of data, I can just change my list and copy and paste a new list there.